We are now joined by Sullivan Cauley. Jay, we'll start with you.
Hey, thanks very much. And Sullivan, welcome back. You've got Bellator fight number 5 here against another undefeated guy like yourself. I was curious, is this pretty much old hat to you now, the fight week stuff, the media gearing up for the fight, or is there still a bit of jitters on your part?
I'm definitely starting to settle in, become accustomed to this process. It's seems to go a lot smoother now. Got everything figured out from how I'm going to eat all week to, how I'm going to feel at different stages of this process, and I am starting to really feel at home with it. So that's really nice.
That's good to hear. And, like I said, Jay Raddick is undefeated, but this is his debut on a larger stage. From what you've seen of him, what do you make of him as an opponent?
Yeah, he's undefeated, but he hasn't fought anybody anywhere near like me, really. His biggest asset is his size, I would say. He's a big guy, 6'5", I guess. And he's well-rounded in the sense that he's got some striking and some jiu-jitsu, but I don't think he's really as good anywhere as I am. So I see myself taking it to him.
And you mentioned his size. I mean, do you have bodies that size that you can kind of work with in the gym, replicate what he does?
Yeah, they make him that big in Arizona, so we got a couple.
Good to hear, man. And, last one for me. I mean, if you do get the win here, it's a great start to your career entirely under the Bellator banner. So what's the goal then for 2023?
The goal for me for 2023 would be, at least 3, ideally 4 more fights. I'm on a development contract. I'm focused on developing. I'm trying to really build a world-class skill set. And, a big part of that is getting experience and getting these fights. So, Bellator has done a great job with me so far. I'm really happy with how things are going. And I just, would like to stay busy going forward.
All right. Well, looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Santiago.
Hi, Sullivan. Thank you for the time. Did you do your camp for this fight at Dance Gym in Arizona? And just in general, how did you experience your preparation for this fight?
Yeah, so I do my striking at Dan's Gym, and then I do my wrestling with my head wrestling coach, Jordan Johnson, and that's at Bader's private gym. So, between those two places and then going around to the Phoenix area to spar, that's how I get my camps done. And, just like I said earlier, I'm getting more accustomed to the fight week process and getting more at home. Here in fight week, I'm really starting to learn how to put together a great camp. And a big part of that is my coaches, Dan Brandt and Jordan Johnson. And I'm learning, and we're not making any massive changes, but just little tweaks every time, little improvements. The camps are getting better. I'm getting better. Everything's starting to feel better. So, watch out.
There is a lot of buzz surrounding you, which is normal when you score 4 first-round knockouts in a row to start your Bellator MMA career with, which is a record, I think. Did you expect it all to go this fast and spectacular in just 2 years' time with the company?
I don't know if I expected all the first round knockouts, because I don't really think of myself as, when I go into a fight, I don't think of chasing an early knockout. That's not really how I strategize and how I fight, but it just kind of ends up happening because of how, how confident and aggressive I am. So I'm really happy with the way things have gone. I thought I was going to come in here and dominate because I had a good amateur career. I had a lot of great coaching. I had a lot of fighting experience. I had probably more amateur striking experience than any Division I wrestler. So, we took our time. We built a really solid skill set before I turned pro. So I think that's why I've been able to do so well early on in my pro career.
It's a big night for the light heavyweight division. You are ranked at number 10, and the door towards the top is right open now that the tournament is going to be over. What do you see when you look at this light heavyweight division where Bellator has clearly worked very hard on?
Yeah, it's a solid division. At the top, I think it's right up there with the UFC's light heavyweight division. I'm like I said, I'm still on a development contract. I'm focused on developing. A few fights down the line, though, there are a lot of names, especially towards the bottom end of the top 10, that I think I have something for, and I think those guys are probably watching me right now very carefully, because in a short period of time, I'm going to be knocking on their door, and they're probably not going to be too happy about it.
Oh, they are on notice, I think. Bellator has announced a co-promotion with Rising in Japan at the end of this year. Did you catch this, Sullivan? What do you think about two promotions coming together with their best fighters? It's pretty huge, right?
I think it's awesome. I don't see why not. I think it's a testament to both promotions that they're willing to work with another promotion. These guys are all businessmen. They're generally not going to do anything unless they think it benefits, their operation. But I think it benefits everybody, the fans, the fighters. I think the level of competition in the organizations outside of the UFC has gone up so much, and it's so good now. And I think a lot of the casual fans haven't quite yet realized it. So hopefully things like this can sort of draw people's attention to that fact.
It's huge for the sport. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you.
Luis?
Hi, Sullivan. I'm Luis Morales from Make It. And you are well known as a pro, and your whole career is in one of the most important promotions of the world.
I'm sorry, there's some interference. I'm having trouble hearing you. Could you try to say that again? Okay.
Killian?
Hey, Sullivan. Killian Yauk here. Just one from me. On your Instagram, you posted about your partnership with Guardian Revival. You're trying to raise $5,000 to award a companion dog for a veteran or a first responder. So I was just wondering if you could talk a little bit about that. You're trying to raise $5,000 and why that cause speaks to you.
Yeah. So Guardian Revival is a great cause. It's a nonprofit that exists solely to benefit veterans and first responders, specifically in the arena of mental health. We have an epidemic of suicide amongst veterans in this country. I think everybody knows that at this point. You can do what you can to try to get these guys to talk about their feelings and to go to therapists, and they're just resistant to it. That's just how they are. And Guardian Revival has programs that work in addition to clinical therapy to alleviate some of these problems. And one of my favorite ones is the Boots and Paws program, which awards service animals and just companion dogs to veterans and first responders in need. It's I'm trying to this fight to raise $5,000. That's going to mean one great companion dog to a veteran or first responder that needs it. So I really appreciate the help. If you go to my Instagram and click the link in my bio, it'll take you to that donor box to get that done. So please check that out.
That's awesome. Do you know of any update with that? Like how much money they might have raised by now?
I need to get on there and check. I think we're still under 1,000 for this fight, so hopefully we can get there by the time I knock this dude out.
Okay, thank you for your time. Good luck this weekend.
Yeah, thanks.
MMA Locker Room?
Hey, how's it going, Sullivan? It's MMA Locker Room, part of Pub Sports Radio.
How are you?
Good. Being that you're a hard-hitting light heavyweight, I just wanted to say, with the passing of Anthony Rumble Johnson, what was your favorite Anthony Rumble Johnson fight or moment that you can recall?
That's a tough one because there are a lot of good ones. I think when he knocked out Gustafsson, that was extremely impressive to me, because Gustafsson, especially at that point, was just such a monster, such a technical fighter, such a big light heavyweight. And I think that was impressive. Rumble's career was amazing. Definitely Hall of Fame caliber. And from what I hear, I never knew him personally. From what I hear, he was a great man, and he was good to people. And it's a shame that we lost him.
Got it. Another thing, you know, all your fights pretty much finished in the first round. A lot of people like to say when you speak things into existence, they sometimes happen that way. So if I was to ask you, how do you think your first submission will come apart? How do you think you will get your first sub?
My first submission, I think I'll probably be smashing somebody from on top with ground and pound and end up in an arm triangle or something like that. I don't like to give up position. I'm a classic wrestler, I like to stay on top. So I'll probably find an arm triangle or something like that. Maybe this fight, who knows?
Kobe.
Hi, Sullivan. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters. First time talking to you, buddy. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. So 4 fights in the Bellator cage, less than 15 minutes spent there. Do you see that as an advantage or a disadvantage at this point?
I mean, experience is huge, obviously. It would be nice to get some cage time, but I don't think the fact that I've been crushing guys really puts me at a disadvantage. As I've mentioned, you know, time and time again, I had a solid amateur fighting career. In addition to my wrestling career, I've been in tough fights. I've been in, you know, 5-round amateur fights. I've been to deep water. I have a lot of experience in that way. So, you know, I don't think the fact that I've been finishing guys puts me at a disadvantage. I'm very much ready for a 3-round fight. I think one of my best attributes is my cardiovascular endurance. I don't think anybody's really gotten to see it yet. So, you know, when that time comes, I'll be ready.
Thank you for your time, Sullivan.
Thank you, guys.
We will be joined by Roman Faraldo shortly. Please raise your hand if you have a question.
Check 1 2.
We are now joined by Roman Faraldo. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Roman. Greetings from Amsterdam. Thank you for the time. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing so good. Thank you for asking. And how did your camp go at ATT? And were you able to train with the Bellator middleweight champ, Johnny Eblen, and also Sabah Homasi?
Of course, man. Those are my main guys, man. Always. I always put work in with Johnny and Sleek Chic. Camp went awesome. You know, we're here, ready to go. And yeah, man, I'm just ready to perform.
Your opponent, Chokeli, had a tough outing in his last fight against Goiti Yamauchi. Did you watch this fight, Roman? And what did you make of his performance?
No, I actually didn't watch it. I mean, the guy he was fighting is a jiu-jitsu guy, Uchikuchi or whatever his name is. You know, so our fight's going to be a lot different. I wasn't taking anything from that fight. You know, him and I are going to go in here and, you know, we're going to bang it out.
It took the company some time, but finally they have you set for your main card debut. I feel like it was a really slow grind to get to this point, but just like with Johnny, suddenly everything can go really fast. Johnny fought Salter first, which was the number 2 ranked guy, and after that, straight into a title shot. That has to give you some confidence that big things can happen very quick, right, Roman?
Oh yeah, this game is, you know, can be like a rocket ship to take off out of nowhere. You know, I knew the main card was coming eventually. I wasn't really putting too much pressure on that or wasn't too concerned with it. As long as I come out here and do my job, you know, the main card, all the highlights and all the, you know, glory will come. So I just got to make sure I do what I do and perform.
Talking about Sabah Homasi, in my opinion, it's you, Roman, and Sabah Homasi who are lighting up this welterweight division in Bellator MMA. And they both have you ranked at 9 and 10 now, which is a good start. But would you agree, Roman, with those crazy highlights that you both have? More big fights should come your way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're, and how would I say, comparable. You know, we both go out there and we put on a show. Sabah, he goes out there, he throws big hands, he puts people to sleep. I do the same thing. You know, people want to watch us fight. because they know what they're going to get. So, yeah, it's inevitable. We're gonna continue to grow, and main cards, all that stuff, title fights coming. They're all going to be in the near future.
Yeah, I do not doubt that. Bellator has announced a co-promotion with Ryzen in Japan at the end of this year. Did you catch this, Roman? And what do you think about two promotions coming together with their best fighters? It's pretty huge, right?
Yeah, man, it'd be amazing. I would love to go out there and fight. I was actually just talking to my cousin about it, going out there and fighting. Some of the fans out there are amazing. Just the culture, everything about it. It would be honestly a dream to go out there and fight and perform. So if that's ever an opportunity, I will definitely take it up.
Thank you for the time as always, Roman. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you, boss.
Kobe.
Hey, Roman, Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcaster. How's it going? The highlight reel.
Man, it's going great, my dude.
Okay, so would you consider Levin to be your most dangerous opponent yet?
Yeah. I mean, as far as Bellator goes, I'd say honestly, probably my toughest fight up to date was, I'll give him the credit, Delano Taylor in my pro debut, and he's getting ready to fight in PFL for the belt and that $1 million prize. So, but beyond that in Bellator, yeah, Levin's definitely the I guess the most dangerous, or the most dangerous fighter that I've come to face yet.
Now, you're both knockout artists, so 100%. Are we going to see you take a little bit of a different strategy this fight? Because you've dominated your opponents on the feet each time.
Don't insult me. All right. Listen, I know what I do. I know what I'm capable of, and I'm good at it. Okay. This guy, he does what he does, and I'm just better at it. So I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do my game plan just like I do every other fight. I'm going to execute and come out with the victory.
All right, man. I'm placing another KO finish bet on you, buddy.
100%.
Jay?
Hey, thanks very much, Roman. Welcome back. It's been mentioned a few times now. Obviously, the knockout ability is there. And I'm just curious, when you're in the cage, are you actively looking for the finish, or is it more a matter of capitalizing when openings present themselves?
There's, I can say there's been fights where I've just let it come to me. I'll say my last fight, a big reason why I wasn't, happy with my performance was because I was forcing it and I was trying to get the KO instead of just letting the fight come to me and allowing my talents to just do what they do. So it's a bit of a mix, but going into this fight, definitely a much clearer head. I'm glad that I got to experience that and go through that in my last fight. And I'm just going to go out here and do what I do, every day, and just let my work that I've put in speak for itself.
And the other thing that's been mentioned already is the rankings, your spot in the division, the excitement that you bring. If you do get the win here with 2023 upon us, is this kind of the point where you start insisting on ranked opponents so you can work your way up?
100%. 100%. I'm at the top of the heap, and I'm gonna work my way down. Yeah, we'll get through this guy. We'll focus on one thing at a time. We'll get through this guy, and then obviously we have an exciting 2023 coming up, and hopefully by the end of the year we either got a title fight coming, or at least in contention.
And last one for me. I see you got the jacket on there. Is the Windy City a bit of a shock compared to Florida?
Yeah, it's definitely it's a big 180, but I'm enjoying it. Getting to bundle up, rocking the big sweaters. Just taking the experience as it is. It's fun, man. Finally, getting off of just all the BS from 2020 and 2021 with COVID and everything. It's good to just come out here and kind of relax and just focus on the fight.
All right. Well, best of luck this Friday. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Zane? Zane, you there?
Hi, Roman. Zamander from BJPen.com. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good. Kind of like going off of what the last person said. Obviously, Chicago is very new to you. Obviously, you're coming from Florida. What are you most looking forward to fighting in front of Wintrust Arena and a pretty packed crowd on Friday?
I'm a little confused with the question. Can you ask that one more time?
Oh, sure. I mean, obviously, this is probably your biggest fight of your career so far.
Mhm.
What are you most looking forward to fighting in front of a big crowd?
Oh, I mean, that's always a good time. We got a big crowd, main card, but honestly, mostly I'm looking forward to is just getting out into the city, eating some food, enjoying the sights. A lot of good. I hear about the culture here as far as pizza and steakhouses and just getting out and just enjoying everything while I'm here. So the fight that's just part of the business. I'm gonna go handle my business and then we'll go enjoy the spoils of Victor.
What's your one favorite tourist attraction that you want to check out at some point before you leave?
Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. I've been getting a lot of different how do I say places to go check out. I'm really just more excited about the food, to be honest. So I'm just gonna go and eat as much as I can. I've been on a diet for the last 2 months, and just enjoy what I do as much as I can.
Killian?
Hey, Roman, Killian Yauk here. After your last performance in the post-fight press conference, you said that you weren't very happy with how the fight went. Did you do anything different for this camp to make sure that didn't happen?
Oh yeah, just got back to my roots, man. Stop worrying about, I hate to say it, but with the media and all the hype, stop worrying about what you guys think and what you guys want from me, and just doing what I do. When I'm doing, when I'm performing at my best is when I'm just in my flow state and enjoying myself. So really just going out there and enjoying, the experience. I got into this business because I love it. I didn't want to work a 9 to 5, and so instead of trying to impress everybody and doing it for you guys, I hate to say it, I got to do it for myself and go out here and just do what I do.
And we all know that you're must-see TV at this point, and you're a guy the fans are going to want to tune into every single time, and a guy Bellator is going to want to put in big spots. By the end of 2023, where do you think you're going to be sitting in the Bellator welterweight division?
I'll be in the top 5. I'll be in the top 5 for sure. I got, we'll get to this guy, and then I'm probably going to fight, Crutchmer, Neiman, or I can never remember his name, bro. The Gucci guy. Get one of those 6, 7, 8, take one of their spots, and then maybe get, we'll finish that contract out, get a new contract, and then fight in the top 5, and maybe go into 2024. Maybe even finish 2023 with a title fight, but go into 2024 for sure with a title fight in mind and, getting ready for.
Thank you for your time, Roman.
Thank you.
In a moment, we will be joined by Tyrell Fortune. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. We are now joined by Tyrell Fortune. Please raise your hand if you have a question. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Tyrell. Thank you for the time. Is this your first time fight against Chicago? And how are you experiencing your fight week thus far?
Fight week is just as normal no matter where you are, really. But I like Chicago. Chicago's a beautiful city, and the food that I've had so far has been really good. So I have no complaints. I like Chicago.
It's almost exactly 6 years ago that you made your pro MMA debut right here in the Bellator cage, and you've racked up 9 beautiful finishes in that time period. How have you experienced your time thus far in this major MMA promotion?
I love it. I really do love working with the Bellator staff. They're great. I have a relationship with almost everybody here, and it makes me look forward to the fight week and everything that I do for them. So I love our relationship. We have a great relationship, and I hope it continues to grow and flourish.
What do you know about your opponent, Daniel James? He was supposed to make his Bellator debut earlier this year, but some controversy happened. What do you make of him?
Was it controversy or was it drug test? I don't think a felon drug test is a controversy, but that's just, I can't speak on that. I don't know him very well, but, he's a striker, kickboxer that, been around for a long time. He's fought in Bellator like in 2014, and then he was in LFA and ACB in between that, and now he's back here in Bellator. So that's really all I know. He's a fighter. He's been in the game for a long time.
You are one of the younger guys in this heavyweight division, but you already have a lot of experience for your age. What do you see when you look at this division, Tyrell? Because you were very close maybe to a number one contender or title fight. If you hadn't lost by split decision against Linton, that was controversial at least.
Yeah, no, I think this division is mine. Soon everybody will realize that if they haven't yet, but I think I just need a couple more fights to really prove that and get that opportunity to take the belt. So I think soon my name should be with a C next to it.
Bellator has announced a co-promotion with Ryzen in Japan at the end of this year. Did you catch this, Tyrell? And what do you think about 2 promotions coming together with their best fighters? It's pretty huge, right?
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful thing. I would love to see more of it. Having it like once a year or twice a year, I think would be a great thing for both promotions. And it'll just get fighters to have a new opportunity, new blood to see. These guys we fighting guys all the way in Japan. So, you probably would never be able to have this opportunity to fight somebody out there had they not do a cross-promotion thing like this. So, no, I'm excited to watch it, excited to see what happens.
Thank you for your time. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on Fight Night, sir.
Thank you.
Jay?
Hey, Tyrell, welcome back. Wanted to start with the last fight, actually. You did get back in the win column against Rakeem Cleveland. What did you take away from that bout?
The W. It was just a nice clean win. Got out there and got it done fast. But not much. It wasn't the expected opponent. It wasn't the opponent I expected. And so I just wanted to perform well and get the job done.
And you kind of touched on my next question there. You know, you were lined up with the Tim Johnson rematch. You were lined up with Steve Mowry. Both of them fell through. Were you surprised at all to not get one of those back on? And are you hoping to maybe get those lined up moving forward?
No, people play hide and seek with me this whole time I've been in this game. So it doesn't surprise me at all if they keep ducking me and having situations or problems that come up. So, like, you know, that's really, you know, that's something I kind of focused on earlier, but that's really not my focus anymore. I don't really care if you want to play games, then play games. If you want to fight, then we can fight.
So I guess my final question then is, you know, that seems to me like it would be quite the obstacle when you're trying to plan a career path. Like, you're trying to work your way to the title. How do you kind of navigate, you know, being able to land guys who are going to get you to that belt?
Again, you know, that was something I was focused on earlier and was very upset about, you know, how to do that. And I thought it would be very simple, but this game has a lot more politics than I was aware of. So I choose not to really focus on that anymore. I kind of just really focus on my training and what I need to get done. And Bellator, you know, tries to make the fights happen when they can. And that's all I can really focus on, whoever signs the contract.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to this one on Friday. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, Tyrell.
Cool.
Sorry to sleep, ready? You're fine. Oh, yeah. You can just leave it there. Yeah. Thank you. Sure, yeah.
We'll be joined by Usman Nurmagomedov. Please raise your hand if you have any questions. We are now joined by Usman Nurmagomedov. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Salam alaikum, Usman, and thank you for the time. Is this the first time that you had to prepare for a 5-round fight? And how was this experience for you in the gym?
Готовился на 5-раундовый бой. И как вообще эти тренировки у тебя выглядели? Потому что в другие времена, наверное, ты на 3 раунда готовился. Как вообще был лагерь?
Алейкум салам, да. Этот лагерь намного отличался. Он был как бы намного сложнее. Пришлось адаптироваться, потому что ты заходишь не на 3 раунда, а на 5. Спарринги также в клетке делаются по 5 раундов. И я готовился с, скажем, такими гигантами этого спорта. И они меня загоняли довольно-таки очень в глубокие воды. И я думаю, что я уже адаптировался и готов к 5 раундам.
Wa alaikum assalam. Yes, this is the first time I had to prepare for a 5-round fight. Everything was different during the fight camp, not like I used to do before. The rounds are also 5 rounds in the sparring matches that you prepare. I was getting ready with some of the best fighters in this industry, my team, and they were day in, day out, they were dragging me down to deep waters, and it was not easy, but we're here, I'm ready, and I can't wait for Friday night.
You had a quick rise to the top of the Bellator lightweight division. Did you expect to fight for the title this quick? And what was your first reaction when you heard that Bellator wanted you in this big lightweight title fight against Patricky?
Ты очень быстро поднялся по стопам в легком дивизионе Беллатора. И какие были твои ощущения, когда ты узнал, что Bellator хочет, чтобы ты подрался за их титул, за титул легкого дивизиона? Хотел ли ты этого или хочешь еще, чтобы набраться опыта и потом подраться за титул? Вообще, какие были ощущения до и потом, когда ты узнал, что дали тебе титульный бой? Как были потом ощущения?
Ну, у меня уже 4 боя в Беллаторе за, скажем так, почти за 2 года. Нет, за 1,5 где-то. Но я думаю, что всему свое время, и я сегодня нахожусь на той позиции, на котором должен находиться. Не думаю, что я этого не заслуживаю, потому что Патрики тоже не заслуживал этого. Если он заслужил, то как он получил титульный бой после того, как он проиграл последний бой? Он говорит, что он этот бой заслужил, что я не заслуживаю, что есть ребята более заслуживающие. Но про себя что-то он забывает.
I had 4 fights in a span of like very short period of time, and I feel I deserve it. I'm here for a reason. This was not given to me. I earned it. But Patricky, he keeps talking about the fact that I don't deserve it. He lost his last fight. How does he deserve this? This is my question. I believe I deserve it more than him, but he's the champion, and I'm here to take his belt. So I deserve it.
Jay?
Thanks very much. And Usman, I just kind of wanted to follow up on that a little. Patricky has said, yeah, you don't deserve the title shot. You got it because of your name. But do you believe that Patricky Pitbull is the best lightweight in Bellator right now, given there is yourself and there is Tofik Musayev, who has a win over him?
Ты прав. Ты говоришь, что он говорил, что ты не заслуживаешь. Он на самом деле этого говорил и до сих пор об этом говорит. Что ты думаешь по поводу него? Ты думаешь, он лучший легковес в Беллаторе? Потому что кроме него еще есть ты, Тофик Мусаев, Шабли еще там есть. Ты думаешь, он заслуживает, где сейчас сидит на троне?
Ну, мое личное мнение, я думаю, я лучший легковес в этом в Беллаторе, потому что у меня есть то, чего нет у этих ребят. У меня есть стремление, амбиции и вера в себя. Поэтому у меня лучшая команда. И эти ребята могут говорить все, что им угодно, но как он может заслуживать бой за пояс, если он один бой проигрывает, второй еле как выигрывает, обратно проигрывает, а потом его брат уходит, и он приходит за пояс драться. Это же он сам получил этот пояс как в наследии. Только всего лишь.
My opinion, I am the best lightweight in this division. And I am the best lightweight in Bellator. So the reason for that is because I have ambition. I want this, and I'm trying very hard every day to become the best version of myself that I was yesterday. And this dude, how is he talking about me not earning it and getting it out of my name? But he fought for the title. He first of all, he loses one, he wins one. He loses one, he wins one. He's never consistent with win streaks. And he got this title because of his name. He's the one who got this title because of his name, his brother's name. He lost a fight, and then he won one, and then he lost one, and then his brother was fighting for the title, and then his brother moved back down, and he ended up fighting for the title just because his name is Pitbull. You understand? Like he is who he is. You know, he says, I am the one that got this title because of my name, but that's not what it is. He knows it is not true.
Fair enough. And, you mentioned ambition there, and it's likely that the winner of this fight is going to hold the belt when the lightweight Grand Prix comes around. Is that tournament something that you're excited for?
Мы думаем, что, ну, всем известно, что в следующем году будет гран-при в легком весе, и победитель этого боя 100% будет там тоже участвовать. Что ты думаешь по поводу этого гран-при и какие твои ощущения вообще?
Ну, посмотрим, как сложатся дела. Деньги любят все. Как я знаю, в гран-при там выигрыш $1 миллион, поэтому посмотрим.
We will see. Personally, I'm ready. Everybody loves money. And the winner of that tournament, Grand Prix, gets $1 million. Let's go.
All right. Well, best of luck to you. Looking forward to this Friday.
Killian?
Usman, Patricky has said that he believes his jiu-jitsu is going to be better than your wrestling come Friday. Do you believe there's anything that you need to be worried about Patricky's game in the cage?
Усман, Патрики думает, что он тебя, его джиу-джитсу и грэпплинг лучше, чем у тебя, и это ему поможет противостоянию против тебя. Даже он твой рестлинг тоже твоя борьба тоже не поможет ему против его джиу-джитсу. Что ты вообще думаешь по этому поводу?
Что мне сказать? То же самое говорил Оливейра тоже в Ислама Махачу. Но мы посмотрим.
Hey, what can I say? Charles Oliveira was saying the same thing, banging the same microphone all fight camp, that is not going to work against Islam Makhachev, but we all saw what happened. So just tune in and watch the fight.
Speaking of Islam, you and your team have the opportunity to be on top of the lightweight divisions in the UFC, and now come Friday, if you get the win in Bellator, what will that mean to you and your team to have the champions in the two biggest MMA organizations?
Твой однокомандник, твой брат Ислам завоевал титул UFC в легком весе, и сейчас у тебя есть возможность сделать то же самое в Беллаторе. Что бы для тебя значило и для вашей команды иметь 2 титула в легком весе, 2 самые большие организации в мире?
Для меня это такая большая честь выиграть этот пояс, привести его в свою республику, в Дагестан, куда уже привез Ислам пояс UFC, а до этого привозил Хабиб, и все эти пояса в легком весе. Знаешь, я просто хочу, моя цель просто выиграть этот пояс, чтобы положить ее туда, в зал школы Абдуманапа Нурмагомедова, потому что это укрепит наше наследие, и я должен сделать это, иншаллах.
It would be my honor to bring this title to my home country of Dagestan, and this was done before by recently done by Islam, and then before that by Habib Nurmagomedov, and I just want to be able to do this, bring this title home, and put it in the honorary a place in the gym under the name of my late coach Abdul Manap Nurmagomedov, and it would be my honor. I dreamed about this a lot, and now I'm about to do it soon.
Thank you for your time. Best of luck to you.
Rami?
Hi. In 15 professional fights, you have never tasted defeat. 8 TKOs, 5 submissions. You are the #1 ranked fighter in the lightweight division for Bellator. Do you have a early prediction on how you see this fight ending, or do you see it going the distance against Patricky?
Усман, за 15 профессиональных боев ты ни разу не проигрывал. У тебя 15-0, 8 техническим нокаутом, 5 сабмишеном. Какое твое Как ты думаешь, этот бой закончится? Закончится ли это досрочно или пойдет решением судей? Обычно бойцы это чувствуют. Какие твои чувства по этому бою? Как ты это видишь, когда закрываешь глаза?
Я вижу, что, ну, это вот мысли, да, скажем так. Я вижу, что он устанет и сдастся. И все, я больше ничего не вижу. Я вижу, что он устанет. Но я готов на все 5 раундов. И у меня нету такого, что я выйду на этот бой, буду надеяться на то, что он устанет и потом действовать. Нет. Я выйду на этот бой с полной решимостью выиграть этот бой. Каким бы этим, чего бы это мне не стоило, и какими бы, как бы это ни было там решением или же нокаут submission, я иду туда за победой только.
When I close my eyes and imagine this fight, how is it going to take place? In my head, I see it that he will get tired and he will give up. But make no mistake, just because I think about it this way and I visualize this fight the way I just told you, it does not mean I'm not ready for 5-round fight. Whatever it takes, 5 rounds. I am focused to win, whether it's by finish, whether it's by decision. For me, victory is what I'm planning for. So that's the way I see the fight going.
MMA locker room.
Salam alaikum, my brother.
Alexa.
All right. So after this fight takes place with a win over the big name as a Pitbull, how would you feel about a title big fight against AJ McKee taking place in Russia?
Скажем, что ты выиграл этот бой, взял пояс. Как ты думаешь, после этого есть большой бой против человека, которого зовут AJ McKee? Представь, что этот бой случится в России. Как ты думаешь, насколько огромным будет этот бой? У него есть имя, у тебя есть имя, и вы оба талантливые люди.
Я бы, конечно, хотел представить этот бой в России. И да, Эджимаки очень такой талантливый парень, хороший, бьющий, борющийся. У нас с ним получится очень хороший бой в будущем. И ну да, я думаю, что будет большой бой, но я не думаю, что у него такое большое имя в ММА, как у меня.
I agree. AJ McKee is a talented young fighter, and it would be awesome if we will definitely fight in the future. It will be even better if he fought in Russia, in Moscow. AJ McKee has a name, but it's not even close when it comes to my name. So he needs to keep working.
Thank you for you guys' time. Corey Anderson will be joining us shortly. Please raise your hand if you have any questions.
No, we got number 2 after.
We are now joined by Corey Anderson. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Corey. Thank you for the time. How are you experiencing your fight week thus far? Is Bellator taking good care of you?
I mean, Bellator always takes great care. I mean, not good care. Everybody here does an awesome job. Hotel is nice. The accommodations are nice. The workout room is nice. So everything is good. I'm happy.
Yeah, you look happy. And this move to Bellator MMA has been amazingly good for you and your career. And I really feel that you are being appreciated a lot here. Do you feel that as well, Corey?
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's why my performances have been the way they are. You know, I'm truly happy. You know, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. And here I'm just incredibly happy. My family is happy, like not just my wife and kids, but my parents, brothers, everyone around me is happy for me and the way the organization has been treating me. And that just, it transpires into when I step into the cage to go out there and fight with that same energy.
Have you fought before in Illinois? And how much does it mean for you to fight in your own state? Is it more comfortable during fight week, or does it also bring some pressure and obligations?
I only fought here once. My debut was in Illinois, Springfield, Illinois for CCW, Capital City Cage Wars. And it doesn't bring much pressure, but when they first announced it, I wasn't excited about it because I knew like the people that I used to hang out with in Rockford, Illinois, where I'm from, and some of the people I used to see are like kind of, they support, but they don't support. You know, like if I came to town, now they want to come to the event and ask for tickets and stuff, but like when we're other places, those people would never travel to come see me. You know, at first I wasn't excited about that fact. Like I'm gonna be getting blown up by all these different people that want something from me. And I made a big post about like, yo, if I haven't talked to you within the last so many years for more than 10 minutes, do not reach out to me, blase, blase. And Bellator gave me 100 friends and family tickets to post and sell. I gave them to a friend. It was all sold within like a week. And after that, I got excited. Like, okay, so people actually are going to support. Then I started having old teachers and old coaches from Illinois reach out who said they were going to be here. Then I started to get fired up. Like, wait, I finally get to go and perform not only for the belt, but perform for the belt in front of some of these people that inspired me and molded me to be the man I am today. So after that, I got super excited. Now I'm just fired up, ready to go.
that first fight between you and Vadim was heavily going your way prior to the accidental head clash. Vadim had some time to think about that and to train again for you. What do you think it is that he will do different this time around? Because you kind of said it out loud, Corey, that you read him like a book, you made him gas out and then took over. Do you think that he has it in him to start a bit slower? Because he's not used to that, right?
I mean, you can start a bit slower, but I still fight at a high pace. So if you start a little bit slower, then you end up behind the 8 ball on me. I mean, I'm ahead on punch output, and then you start trying to pick up the punch output, trying to catch up, and then you're going to gas more of a panic. So he could wait a little bit. I think the biggest thing he did really well was the kick game. So in my mind, going into this, I always thought he's going to come in with heavy kicks, so we trained that, preparing for heavy kicks. Head kicks, we blocked all those. Body kicks, we caught those. Leg kicks were the ones that landed. So we thought about it. Like, just remember, we need to work this a lot, this camp, because that's where he's going to work his bread and butter. And I hope he worked his takedown defense and a little bit more wrestling.
Bellator has announced a co-promotion with Ryzen in Japan at the end of this year. Did you catch this, Corey? And what do you think about two promotions coming together with their best fighters? It's pretty exciting, am I right?
Oh, yeah. I like the idea. I mean, it's just like an MMA training. Sometimes if you're in the area with one of the best gyms and you got like some understanding where you guys won't fight each other, it is beneficial for you guys to train together. You each get something out of it. That's what's called cross promotion. It's beneficial for Bellator and Risen, or if later on Bellator and one, if even sometime Bellator and one UFC, to do a cross promotion, is good for everybody because everybody gets to eat. Everybody get a piece of the pie and gets the exposure to different fighters out there instead of the ones that's getting talked about all the time because everybody is stuck on one promotion. If all these promotions can work together, have like a battle of such and such organization and have like a title eventually where the best organization, the fighter in the best organization get one title after the champs of each one fight for it. I think something like that would be cool. But I know some organizations won't be on for that.
Jay?
Yeah, thanks very much, Corey. Welcome back. I know you said a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, so I hate to start off on a bit of a down note, but it was an emotional week and weekend in MMA. We saw Frankie Edgar retire, and we learned the tragic news of Rumble Johnson's passing. And I know you had some nice words for Frankie on social media. I'm wondering if you could just maybe share with us one of your favorite memories of Frankie's career, and then maybe as well with Rumble Johnson.
I mean, my favorite moment of Frankie's career, you got to go to Gray Maynard fights. Anybody and everybody will tell you the Gray Maynard trilogy. But the second fight was probably the best. And just training with Frankie, I'm who I am and in this sport because of Frank. Well, not in the sport, but in the big leagues because of Frankie. Frankie picked me first on the Ultimate Fighter. They invited me to New Jersey. They took me in. They taught me everything he knows, which helped me mold to be that man I am today. So that right there is just, that's the favorite thing I have about Frankie. The generosity he had to take a complete stranger he met on a reality TV show and invite him into his father-in-law's house and allow me to stay in New Jersey and train with them. As for Rumble, I gotta say my best memory is I think it was World Series of Fighting. He was fighting DJ Letterman. And I remember the guy poked him in the eye and he was trying to tell him breath, like, yo, stop, I'll poke. And he was running backwards to the cage, and the ref was like, I didn't see it, keep going. And DJ came sprinting across the cage, and you see AJ just stop and throw a right hand and literally just makes dude's body his whole soul left his body on instant, just folded right to the ground, and the fight was over. I was probably one of the coldest and coolest things I've seen out of all his knockouts. That's the one that stuck out the most to me.
Appreciate you sharing that. And, you mentioned that great trilogy with Gray Maynard that Frankie had. I mean, this is a second fight with Nemkov, win or lose. Do you see maybe a possibility of a trilogy forming with him?
It could be. It all depends on how our careers go after this. If one of us loses the belt this week or lose the fight this weekend and continue to perform and work our way back to the champ and he's still holding the belt or I'm still holding the belt, yeah, for sure. Or if at some point neither of us are the champion, we're trying to fight our way back, there's a possibility we fight each other to get there. There's so many possibilities. Anything can happen, So right now, you just got to worry about one fight at a time. I'm worried about number 2, me and Nemkov number 2, and we'll worry about what happens after that.
Fair enough. Well, best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Kobe?
Hi, Corey. It's only 7 months since your previous fight with Nemkov. You're running it right back. It's kind of a unique situation. Do you see the fight going any different than the first time?
In my mind, I still plan to go out there and do what I did and dominate. That's how I plan every fight to go. That's how all my fights been in Bellator. Go out there, dominate, and pose my will. The good, or not a good thing, the one thing about it is he has intel on me. 15 minutes, about 14 minutes, 50 seconds. 14 minutes and 55 seconds worth of intel of what I do and what I can do. So you had 7 months to study that same 14 minutes and all the other fights you had. Now you can go through and watch that fight, compare it to other fights, and compare and contrast, see what I did well, see what I did wrong, see what I did in that fight that you need to work on and get better at. But the biggest thing is, like, in all my fights is always, I don't have the same performance, but I have similar game plans. You have to be in the camp to understand, like, we switch everything up. Everything changes. The code changes, the movement changes, but it's always to get to the same outcome. Get a guy to the ground and ground and pound. We just find different ways to get there. So it's just different setups to get you to the ground. And I'm sure he worked on things to stop whatever it is I'm bringing. But that's the thing. I had the same 7 months he had to study and figure out other ways to get him down. So if he can stop it the first round, I still expect to get him down within the second, third, one of those. But yeah, at the end of the day, I still plan on getting him down, just doing what I do. Like I said, when I came to Bellator, I got one goal. Come here, take you down, ground and pound. And that's it.
And how did he compare to some of your previous opponents? Is there anyone that was similar for you?
In first fight in Bellator, second fight. Yeah, Sherdog. I think he was a tougher guy to take down. Same thing. First round when I shot on him, pretty good base. He played the cage, he played the edge. He lower you in, pull you in, hit you with a big shot. Vadim's shots weren't as big, but he was like bouncing, lower you in, catch you stepping in, catch you going back, hit you with his shots. And it was tough to take him down in the first. But the second round, once I got him down, it was such high as anybody. If I get you down once, now I know I can do it again. So anytime I shoot, I'm confident I'm going to get you down. So you might as well just accept it.
Right on. Looking forward to a great fight, buddy.
Thank you.
Rami?
Hi, Rami Hanna from BodySlam.net. I have two questions to ask you. My first one is, before you departed from the UFC, one of my favorite quotes you said was, "There's levels to this." Since then, and since you've arrived in Bellator, you've shown there's levels to this. And your last 3 wins, TKO wins over Melvin Manhoff and Ryan Bader. When you fought Nemkov, and you had him close to being finished towards the end of the third round, what was going through your head when, of course, it was called a no contest? And what is your game plan when it comes to the second fight? Do you plan on shooting immediately? And do you have an early prediction on when you see this ending?
I mean, thoughts in my mind when all that was going on was he's done. Like I said in the post, like, I didn't just beat him, I broke him. And the reason why I set up, only reason the headbutt happened is because my initial thought was, all right, we're going to sit here, we're going to finish grinding him out this round, make him carry my weight. Third round, he's going to come out, he's going to be flat. We're going to shoot on him, get him down, then we're going to open up and just finish him in the early fourth. And in that last, like 20 seconds, he started fighting, he was throwing up submissions, he was defending. And when I passed his guard, I heard him just do that deep, which is kind of like, it's a sign of nothing is working or I'm getting tired. And I was like, all right, well, he just gave me something. I'm just going to open up for a second. When I sat up to open up, he had like a butterfly or his foot on my leg, and he kind of kicked my leg out and shrimped to the opposite side to get away from the elbow. And as I was dropping my elbow and my head came down, we clashed. So when all that happened, the thought was, I'm about to finish this fight here. And then that happened, and like, oh, that's not, and that's why I kind of tapped my head. Frank Trigg's like, clean blow, keep going. You even hear the commentator say, oh, that was a clean shot. But me, I sat up and told him, like, no, that was my head. And like, I feel like if I didn't say that, it would have kept going around, would have ended, and I won. As for going into the next fights, or to the next fight, I don't plan on going out there and shoot because he knows I got the takedown advantage. So 100%, he's trained. If that, I'm not going to end up like Ben Askren of Jorge Masvidal. You go out there and just shoot and get hit with a knee. You got to be smart about it. You got to set it up. So when I go for the takedown, it will be set up when I see an opportunity. If I don't see the opportunity, I'm prepared to strike if I have to until he starts slowing down and get that. But there's no secret that Corey Anderson, when he fights you, he's going to get you to the ground. And he can't. They tell you, when you fighting Corey, I'm guaranteed they all going to say, at some point he's going to shoot, he's going to try to get you to the ground. So that's like the first thing they work on.
Mike?
Hey, Corey, I know you kind of already talked about what it's like being back home here fighting in Illinois. But also, with that, and you mentioned, all the tickets being sold and all the coaches and everyone coming out, all the support. But on the other side of that is you can really kind of show, those from the Rockford area and everywhere around the Chicagoland area, just your journey and what it's taken. I find it a little poetic that, you said you wouldn't have changed how things went in your first fight. And now you have an opportunity to kind of put the belt around your waist and showcase your journey to so many people from where you're from. What does that mean to you in particular?
That's a good question. Excuse me. That's one thing I was talking to my one of my corners in the ride over here from the airport. I said in every interview, and they ask about how do you feel about what happened in the last one? And I said, I'm a firm believer everything happened in God's plan. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to get the belt there in California. Maybe it wasn't meant for me to get the belt at all, but maybe it was meant for me to win this belt here in my hometown. And as you said, to see all the people I grew up with and watch it and to come back full circle, because I started my first fight in Illinois. I started training in Milwaukee. I was still living in Illinois, but driving to Milwaukee and went to Springfield. And before I had my first fight, I always said it. At every viewing party, every signing I had, I always made an announcement to people. Just remember, when I make it, we make it. And what that means, when I make it, I'm not going to forget where I came from. I'm going to bring y'all with me. When I come home, I'm going to do events here for the hometown. Because I want to make sure Roxanne Illinois remembers I never forgot about you guys. And maybe that's it. Maybe now it's my time to get that belt. And maybe it's God's way to say, hey, remember, you said when you make it, they make it. So maybe it was for them to be here to share this moment with me. And like you say, it's definitely something you think about. And if that's the case and it happens like that, it's definitely going to be an emotional night, and it's going to be awesome. And I'm sure I'm going to get bombarded at the hotel between two of my colleges being here, the kids I coach as a college athlete or college coach going to be here, my coaches, my high school. I got a high school teammate, Rob Pinnacle, on his card. Brian Newman, he's from Whitewater, my college. He's on the card. So there's going to be a lot of people that I know is going to be here, and to share that moment with all of those guys, I'm sure it's going to be emotionally fantastic.
Thank you, Corey, for your time.
Thank you.
We are now joined by Archie Colgan. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Hi, Archie. Thank you for the time. How are you experiencing your fight week thus far? And is this the first time that you're fighting in Chicago?
Yeah, this is the first time that I've extended stayed in Chicago, so it's been good. Fight week has been good so far. A little hectic today, but yeah, it's been good.
This is a huge event for Bellator MMA. They have the biggest card of the weekend, and the theme of this card is that they want to showcase their top prospects like you. You have made a lot of noise already since coming over in 2021 with some big finishes. How was your time thus far in this major MMA promotion? Because you look happy in the cage while performing.
Yeah, I am happy when I am out there. It's been great. I've been able to go out there and perform my best and showcase some great skill sets that I have. I still haven't been able to put it all out there, but it's been great. And I'm excited to go out there and show my skills and what I have to offer again in another exciting fashion coming up this Friday.
You stepped away from Bellator in March of this year, and a lot of people were confused by that. They were afraid that you might not come back. Thankfully, you did. Why did you step away for a fight? And is your focus right now only on Bellator MMA?
So I fought in August. I believe it was August of 21. Right? Yeah. And then there was the March of 22 that I fought in Eagle. And just Bellator had signed me after that first fight. So, I still needed to stay active and continue getting experience. So I went over there and fought in Eagle. And yeah, I want to climb the ranks up in Bellator and claim that belt. So.
Yeah, that was a good fight in Eagle, by the way. What do you know about your opponent who's about to make his Bellator MMA debut? Did you see some footage of him or anything?
Yeah, I watched some footage on him. I know he's in trouble. I know that.
Bellator has announced a co-promotion with Ryzen in Japan at the end of this year. Did you catch this, Archie? And what do you think about two promotions coming together with their best fighters?
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I saw that they've also have had some talks in the past with Eagle and stuff, so that's cool too. And yeah, I saw Patricio Pitbull over there training throughout this week, and he's training the pride rules and kicking on the ground and soccer kicks and all that stuff. So it's cool that they're doing cross promotion and building almost like a full community inside of the MMA instead of just promotion versus who's just one promotion at a time. You know what I mean? It's cool that boxing has WBC champ or WBO or IBF and stuff like that. So it's cool that they're building some camaraderie in between MMA and being the first to do it.
Thank you for the time, Archie. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Jay?
Hey, thanks very much. Archie, welcome back. Just wanted to expand a little. I mean, when you mention seeing a bit of tape and knowing that he's in trouble, when it comes to an opponent like Jesse, who's been out for a little bit, he doesn't have a ton of fights, so maybe footage is hard to find. Do you, put a lot of stock into what you see in that footage, or do you just focus more on yourself?
Yeah, I'm not putting it so much on what I saw in footage and being dang, this guy, he struggles in this area or this area. That's why I'm saying he's in trouble. I'm just saying he's fighting me and he's in trouble because he's doing that.
Gotcha. And then, when we look at this opportunity here, there is a lightweight Grand Prix coming up. It is a stacked division, probably a lot of competition to get in there. But do you feel that maybe a big performance here and you might be able to throw your name in the hat?
I would like to think that, I'm still obviously, there's in that top 10 of rankings there's a lot of experience in these guys. And so I understand that. I'm going to continue to make sure that I just go out there and put on exciting performances. So if that opportunity does come across in front of me, I'm able to jump onto it.
And last one for me, you mentioned Pitbull training the pride rules, training those, soccer kicks and everything. Is that a rule set that you'd like to try competing under one day?
Probably not. I mean, if it happened, I would be, if that's what happened, and I happen to somehow end up fighting in one of those organizations, fighting's fighting, so I'm down to do it. But I'm cool with the rule sets that we got in place here.
All right, fair enough. Best of luck on Friday.
Thank you, sir.
Kobe?
Hi, Archie. Kobe from the Pro Sports Podcasters. Obviously, you're feeling pretty confident in your skill set, but you admit that you're still developing as a fighter. Where do you feel like you've developed the most since becoming a professional?
That's a good question. I would say, I think I've gotten better everywhere, but I guess the most would be more just mental than the actual physical stuff. I feel like I'm just making a lot of mental strides, and then just how to, be composed during practice when I don't want to be there, but I need to be there, and just throughout life, and I've become a father too in the past couple. About a year ago, just over a year ago, I became a father, and 9 months before that, finding out you're pregnant and stuff. So just having to mentally build yourself and become stronger that way, I think is one of my biggest attributes since becoming a pro.
And since your first fight with Bellator, have you changed the way you prepare for fights? Has it given you the opportunity to maybe add coaches or something like that?
No, I'm pretty much preparing all the same. I got, no, I wouldn't say anything has really changed since my first Bellator fight. I've just stayed consistent with those who've been consistent with me, and with doing that, you just make incremental little growth every single day that you train, and even the days that you don't train. But you get to think about the things that you did train the day before. You have the next day off. You get to think about those things, and then you make growth there too. And you stay consistent with that through 2 years. You make some big jumps.
You're an exciting fighter, Archie. I'm looking forward to your next fight, buddy.
Thank you.
Killian?
Hey, Archie, you come from obviously the strong wrestling background, but you've looked very comfortable on your feet through your first 5 fights, pro fights, I mean. What do you credit for the comfort in the kickboxing realm of MMA so early in your career?
Well, I credit my head coach, Justin Salas. He's been a big part of understanding how to. For me, he was also a wrestler coming out of college. Went off and had a successful fighting career, and he just came from a good background. Under his head coach was Trevor Whitman, and he came from a good background of understanding striking as a wrestler. So when he was teaching it to me, it was I wasn't trying to learn it as a boxer or from a boxer. I was learning it from a wrestler who had learned striking already. So it just transitioned over from him to me very easily. And I think I have natural skill sets and speed and strength and coordination, athleticism that complemented it. So it became even a little bit easier for me. But mainly it was just, he said, A and B, and for the way he's saying it is the same A and B to me as it is for him, because we're both wrestlers, versus a boxer. My A and B might be a little bit different perspective for a wrestler.
And then there's been mention of the Bellator lightweight Grand Prix coming up. That obviously opens up for a lot of movement within your division. By the end of 2023, in a perfect world, where do you see yourself in the lightweight division of Bellator?
Oh man, I don't know. In a perfect world, the world's not perfect. I don't know. That's tough to say. I'm not. The easy answer would be to come out here and say some outlandish stuff and be like, I'm going to go out there and take care of all of this stuff and I'll finish everybody. And, but the truth is that, at the end of this fight, I'll be 6-0. That's still pretty young in comparison to the top 10 when it comes to experience and just what they have at the table. Not that I don't think that I can't go out there and compete against those guys, but when Bellator is going to put together their tournament, they're probably going to look at their top 10 guys and the guys who have experience and all of that. And at the end of that tournament will be probably the world champion, right? So that's a tough spot to say. I do think in tournament format, there are chances that people may get hurt and can't perform or compete. And in that, I'll be waiting for all these phone calls if that's my situation.
Thank you for your time. Best of luck.
Thank you.
MMA Locker Room.
How's it going, Archie? How you doing today?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Oh, man, doing awesome, man. Glad to talk to you, man. I remember watching you fight on LFA, I think was 2021, Now you're here now doing your thing.
Yeah, it's been good.
Just wanted to ask, man, with the transformation of all the wrestlers coming into MMA and being dominant, like Bo Nickel, Pat Downey, what was one of those first fights that you remember in the sport that made you say, hey, I need to become a fighter, and that made you become the fighter that you are today?
Rampage Jackson versus Ricardo Arona in Pride, when he went for a triangle choke. Rampage lifted him up, slammed him, knocked him out.
Oh man, that's classic right there. That's a classic one right there, man.
I try to recreate it with my buggy choke slam, but dang, can't beat it. Can't beat it if you didn't knock him out with the slam.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Matt Hughes versus, I think it was Carlos Newton way back in the day too. He did something like that too.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, definitely, man. Just looking forward to your fight coming up this weekend on Friday. But when you step into that cage, what's going into your mind? Take me into the locker room with you. Do you see that opponent as just another guy to beat, or do you see that as like a murder, kill outing for you?
Yeah, I don't get too dark and violent in my head. Because I'm just kind of, honestly, I'm seeing myself as just an elite competitor. And we're going to go out there, and our competition this time is to fight. And I just want to beat you in every way that I can. And in doing that in this sport, it does become violent, and it does become aggressive, and it does become mean. But I'm not back there like, I want to kill this guy. Like, I don't know anything about my opponent in his personal life, but I'm sure he has loved ones, and I want him to return to those. But for the 15 minutes that he's obligated to me, he's looking to be in some pain. Yeah.
Thank you for your time, Archie.
Cool. Thank you, guys.
Yo. We are now joined by Patricky Pitbull. Santiago, we'll start with you.
Boa tarde, Patricky. Thank you for the time. You have been with the promotion since 2011, which is crazy if you think about it. You were here before Scott Coker was the president of Bellator. How have you experienced your time here at Bellator MMA?
Yes, a lot of things is very good right now. A lot of things change very much. The money's coming a lot. So I'm very happy to stay here for a long time. Enjoy my whole career in Bellator. Is a lot of things in my mind I remember right now. I don't know why the interviews ask me about this, to stay here for a long time and think about my past. But it's good to remember when they come here to the first fight was unbelievable. I still here. I still enjoy the moment. I still enjoy the game. I love Bellator. Was the first word I say after my first fight, when I know I don't speak nothing. So after my fight, after my win, I say I love it, Bellator. Was awesome. I enjoy a lot.
Yeah, you are the king, and you spoke a lot about Usman not being deserving of this title shot. And I could see where you are coming from. I think Shabli or Musayev had a pretty strong case as well. Do you think Usman is getting this title shot mostly because of his last name?
Yes, Usman is I know he's a tough opponent. His wrestling is very incredible. His strike is very well. He's undefeated, but I don't believe he deserves. He take the title shot just because he's have a big name, Nurmagomedov. But I know he's a tough guy. He's a tough opponent. He's undefeated. He's young fighter, young lion, young eagle. So let's go.
Did your brother help you a lot for this camp? And are you going to help him for his massive fight on this Bellator versus Rising New Year card? And what do you think about that card, Patricky?
Patrícia ajudou você para hoje se você vai ajudar ele para.
Yes, the same work is everything is the same. And he gonna fight, I help him in the corner. And I'm gonna fight, he helped me in the corner. So it's the same. Nothing's changed.
O que você acha do cartão de Bellator contra Rising?
The card of the Bellator against Rising is so because the Japan guys wanna ask me every day, hey, you come. So let's put me on the card, and the card is gonna be 200%. It's gonna be with the fire.
Yeah, it would be amazing if they could add you on it, Patricio. I cannot wait to see you perform again. Good luck on fight night, sir.
Thank you. Jay?
Hey, Patricky, Eric, good to see you guys back. We had Usman in here earlier, and he said, you got your title fight.
Jay, are you there? Killian?
Hey, Patricky. What does getting this first title defense mean to you now, this deep into your career, being the Bellator champion? What would it mean to you to get this title defense?
For me, it's normal. It's like a fight. Just I'm trained very hard. I'm prepared for this fight very hard. I don't like to think about a lot the belt. I just wanna think about the fight because the belt is a consequence. So that's it, brother. I don't like think a lot of. I don't like to think a lot of think difference to my mind's gonna be crazy. So I just think about the fight, the game plan to the fight, and the consequences coming. The money coming, the belt still. That's it.
And you've discussed the MMA rivalry a little bit between Brazil and Russia. Does it add any extra meaning to you that this guy's last name is Nurmagomedov? He's Khabib's cousin. Does that add anything extra to it?
It's two big names in MMA to inside the cage at the Bellator. So it's awesome for everyone. It's big two families in MMA, show the best techniques, show the best punch, the best wrestler, the best jiu-jitsu, the best to put the heart to work. And let's Friday. Let's go to the Friday. Let's see.
Best of luck to you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for you guys' time.
Okay.
That's everybody.
We are now joined by Vadim Nemkov. Killian, we'll start with you.
Hey, Vadim. Corey has openly talked about since the last fight that he felt that he was about to finish the fight and that it was essentially over. Did you feel the same way following your last fight with Corey Anderson?
Corey во всех своих интервью настаивает, что бой, в принципе, уже почти заканчивался. Если нет его победой перед этой секундами, да, когда все это произошло. Ты как считаешь, что есть с точки зрения?
Я так не считаю. Впереди было еще 2 раунда, 2 чемпионских раунда, так что да, у меня там были проблемы какие-то, но я чемпион, я привык драться 5 раундов, и неизвестно, как могли эти 2 раунда сложиться. Кори тоже уже подустал. Я думаю, попадание головой это следствие того, что он тоже устал.
He said, I don't think so. You know, obviously that round wasn't going my way, but there was 2 more rounds left. I'm a champion. I'm used to fighting championship rounds, 5 rounds. Nobody can predict how those 2 rounds would have gone. I feel like Corey was starting to get a little tired, and I believe the headbutt was kind of a result of that, getting tired and sloppier. So, you know, nobody can say how that fight would have gone.
Was there anything about Corey that surprised you when you were in the cage with him?
В первом бою что-нибудь тебя удивило по поводу Кори? Что ты не ожидал?
Ну, у него борьба отличается от нашей российской, можно так сказать. Я работал с вольниками дома, и американская борьба, и российская борьба, в этом есть отличие. Так что в этот раз я работал и с нашими вольниками, и приехал в Америку, работал тоже с американскими борцами. Так что, ну, единственное, что удивило, это борьба.
He said the only thing that really surprised me was his wrestling. I work with a lot of wrestlers in Russia, freestyle wrestlers, but the styles are different from American freestyle wrestlers to Russian freestyle wrestlers. So that was the only thing that really surprised me and kind of caught me off guard. But for this fight, I was able to train both in the States and back home. So I was able to work with both U.S. wrestlers and Russian wrestlers. So I believe I'm ready.
Best of luck to you. Thank you for your time.
Jay?
Hey, thanks very much, Vadim. Welcome back. You know, you mentioned just there working in the States as well as in Russia. Aside from the wrestling, is there anything else you changed in preparation for this fight?
В принципе, ничего не менял. Я думаю, в том бою еще, почему у меня после первого раунда начались проблемы, это причина та, что затянулась подготовка. Я очень долго слишком был в хорошей форме, и просто на бой мне не хотело, как говорится, перегорел. Я думаю, сейчас таких проблем не было. Одна дата была боя, переноса боя не было. Я готовился на это число, и 18 ноября я буду в хорошей форме.
He said, no, I didn't really change anything else. Everything else was kind of the same. I think for the last fight, you know, as I look back, why I started having problems in the fight was the preparation was very long. The date changed and it just kept prolonging. And I stayed in peak form for a long period of time. And I just kind of peaked before the fight. So by the time the fight happened, my body was kind of already exhausted and it was kind of on its way down. I think that's what happened. For this time, it was different. We had a date. It's November 18th, and November 18th is what I was training for, and I'll be in my peak shape as I always have been in the past.
Gotcha. And, you know, if you get your hand raised Friday, I mean, albeit the first fight was a no contest, do you think that this could turn into a trilogy perhaps down the line?
Если ты победишь этот бой, первый бой был no contest, второй бой ты выиграл, ты думаешь, есть резон такой иметь третий бой?
Ну, это должна решать только организация. Мне, в принципе, без разницы, с кем драться. Я готов биться с любым. Так что, если организации будет интересен третий бой, я подерусь в третий раз.
He said, that's really more of a promotional question than asking me. If my hand is raised and I'm a champion, I don't care who I fight. I'll fight whoever I need to fight. So it's more of a question for the organization, the promotion.
Fair enough. And last one for me. Earlier this week, we did get some tragic news that Anthony Rumble Johnson had passed away. He was an opponent that a lot of fans had hoped you would face, that, maybe he'd be in a title fight with you. I'm just wondering if you have any thoughts on his career or any favorite fight of his to share.
На этой неделе трагедия произошла. Антони Рамбл Джонсон скончался. И очень многие, он был частью этого гран-при, и очень многие ожидали, что он дойдет до финала и хотели бы увидеть твой бой с ним. Это, конечно, не получится. Что ты можешь сказать по поводу его карьеры, и если у тебя есть какой-нибудь бой, который впечатлил тебя его?
Я очень сожалею, что Энтони Рамбл скончался. Царствие небесное. Когда мне сказали, что я буду драться с Энтони Рамблом Джонсом в полуфинале, я был в восторге, потому что я смотрел много его боев. Все бои у него яркие, красочные. Но у меня был план к этому бою. Я думал, что я смог бы его выиграть. Но мешалась болезнь и не дала нам провести поединок.
He said, I'm of course very saddened, as everybody in the MMA community, about the passing of Anthony Johnson. In this Grand Prix, I was supposed to face him as my next opponent, and I was looking forward to it, and I was excited because I've spent so many years watching him fight, and all of his fights were always exciting. He always brought it, and of course, I started developing a game plan, and in my mind, I was going to be victorious if the fight did happen, but unfortunately, his illness prevented it from happening. So, it's a tragedy. It's definitely very sad.
Well said. Thanks very much for the time.
Santiago?
Perfect, Vadim. Thank you for the time. You have been with Bellator MMA since 2016, and you are the champion here since 2020, and you never lost a fight in the Bellator cage. How has this 6 years been for you with the company?
Ты в Bellator пришел в 2016 году, 2020 года стал чемпионом, уже почти 6 лет. Ты без поражений в Bellator. Как тебе здесь в организации?
Мне в организации очень нравится. Я здесь, можно сказать, раскрылся как боец. До этого у меня были поражения нелепые. Но здесь я собрал мысли в кучу, как говорится, и навел порядок в голове, начал тренироваться более как профессионально, можно так сказать. И очень много работаю над собой, и все это дает мне то, что я выигрываю. И я думаю, что я здесь буду еще долго править в этом дивизионе.
He said, I love being in Bellator. I feel like I kind of came into my own in Bellator. Before that, I had some losses that were silly and just I was not focused and training right, and it was just kind of like trying to find my way. But since coming to Bellator, I was able to find the right focus and the right training regimens and really train as a professionals do and keep a strong mind. And obviously it's paying off. And I think I'll be here ruling this division for a long time.
Did you get a lot of help from Fedor and Valentin and Anatoly during your training? And is Fedor going to be in your corner for this fight?
Тебе помогал Федор Толик и Валентин во время подготовки к этому бою? И будет ли Федор в твоем углу?
Федор, Валентин будут в моем углу. Они сейчас здесь, в Америке. Федор помогал мне в подготовке. Но эта подготовка у меня получилась так, что была за пределами России. Первый этап я проводил 1,5 месяца в Таиланде. И второй этап, месяц, я проводил в Майами, в American Top Team. И со мной на втором этапе был Валентин Молдавский, помогал мне. И я работал с ребятами из American Top Team, с чемпионом Bellator в среднем весе Джонни Эблоном и еще многими ребятами из ATT.
Yes, all those guys were part of my camp. The first part of my camp I actually did in Thailand for a month and a half. And then I came here to the States about a month ago and finished my camp the last month at ATT. Fedor and Valentin will be in my corner. But I got to train the last month here at ATT. I was training with Bellator middleweight champ Johnny Eblin and a few other guys. And Moldovsky was here with me also training. So him and Fedor will be in my corner.
Thank you for your time, Vadim. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for Pre-Fight Media Day. This concludes our time.